I took a seat on the worn-out, ancient couch, which had formerly been a source of amusement and late-night viewings. It served just as a memento of a simpler, more joyous era in the past. The weight of the past was thick on the room surrounding me. My 4-year-old daughter, Anna, was sound asleep upstairs, her soft breathing a sharp contrast to the tense atmosphere that had descended upon our house. When I looked at the clock, it was already after 11:00 p.m. Charles was running late again, as was his custom. The stillness was eventually broken by the sound of the key turning in the lock. I straightened up, not sure why I still bothered, but out of habit I smoothed down my shirt. I quietly cried out, "Charles," as he entered, appearing to be a stranger rather than the person I had known. "You're late." He crumbled without looking at me. "Work." His voice seemed chilly and distant today, after earlier being warm and kind. I made an effort to seem casual, but a knot started to form in my chest. "Today, Anna had inquired about you. She was curious as to when her father would return home." He casually hung his coat on the hanger after shrugging it off. Children have many questions. That does not imply that we always know the solutions. His lack of concern hurt. The knot in my throat was swallowed. Maybe this weekend, the three of us could do something. That would be adored by Anna. Charles sneered, contempt seeping from his voice. "A trip with the family? With all that's happening? Betty, don't be so innocent." As I talked, my hands quivered a little, as if I was struggling to hang on to the discussion. "Charles, I was not married to this person. It's crucial, Charles. Her father is necessary to her." Without even glancing at me, he strolled to the refrigerator and took out a bottle. "What she needs is a miracle, not me pretending to be a happy family of the park." Tears began to fill up in my eyes. "Charles, she's your daughter. How come you're so chilly?" He drank deeply from the bottle, his eyes concentrated on everything but me. "Betty, I'm being practical. A sick child in a home that feels more like a hospital. This isn't the life I wanted." Emotion rising in my voice, I followed him into the kitchen. "How about me? Do you really think I like to see our daughter suffer? Do you believe I'm living the life I've always wanted?" The sound of Charles slamming the beer bottle against the counter reverberated through the strained quiet. "Honestly, Betty, I have no idea. But I'm aware that I'm out of luck." I was filled with rage. You ought to walk away from your child. In one swallow, he drained the last of his drink. "I require room. This is too much suffocating for me." "Suffocation?" I echoed, shocked. "Is that what your family is to you now?" He looked aside, tensed in his shoulders. "Betty's, it goes beyond that. Everything is centered around Anna's illness, including the many trips to the hospital, the debts she incurs, and everything else. This is not what I signed up for." I was stunned and just gazed at him. How could this harsh truth have become our love? "So Charles, what are your plans? Go from us? Go somewhere else and start over?" He merely went by me, his footsteps heavy on the hardwood floor, without answering. I stood there feeling angry, heartbroken, and deeply betrayed. A storm of emotions was building inside of me. Charles's TV was making a faint sound from the other room as I laid in bed later that night, the space next to me chilly and empty. Our gap had been too big for us to overcome, and I couldn't help but worry whether it would ever be able to. The guy I had married, the father of my kid, had once seemed warm and familiar, but now he seemed like a stranger living with me. Our house, usually a warm and cozy place, was a far cry from the antiseptic hospital room where our daughter Anna lay on a little bed, her little chest rising and falling rhythmically. I sat by her side and clutched her little hand, taking comfort in her quiet sleep. With a professional and pleasant expression on her face, Nurse Sharon entered the room. "How's our brave girl doing today, Betty?" she said. I forced a tired grin. She's a fighter, always has been. Sharon moved quickly and gently to check Anna's vitals. Here, she is in capable hands. She gave me assurance that the surgical staff is among the finest. I nodded, a knot in my throat from concerns I was unable to express. I am aware. All I want is for Charles to be here more. She is requesting him nonstop. Sharon shot me a pitying glance. Fathers often find it hard to cope with these situations, but you're doing an amazing job. Loneliness weighed heavily on me. You know, it's challenging to do it alone. Simply put, he is changed. Charles appeared as though he was meant to, and his presence was not as consoling as I had imagined. His expression was impenetrable as he looked at me and then at Anna. "How is she?" "The same," I said, attempting to maintain my composure. He avoided making eye contact as he fiddled with his phone. "I have to go soon. Work is insane." I felt a sudden burst of rage. Work, right, because that's what's important right now. Charles raised his head, his eyes icy. "Betty, what do you want from me? To observe her sleep from here?" I swallowed a backhanded remark and kept my eyes on Anna. "Charles, she asked for you today. Her father is missing." He shrugged, his detachment forming a tangible barrier between us. "I'm here, aren't I?" Before I could respond, Anna stirred, her voice weak but clear. "Daddy?" Charles's face softened momentarily as he moved closer to her. "Hey, princess. Daddy's here." Anna smiled faintly, reaching out to him. "Stay with me, Daddy." The mix of hope and sorrow in my heart grew as Charles hesitated and then sat on the edge of the bed. "I can't stay long, Anna. Daddy has to work." Her smile faded, an understanding far beyond her years in her eyes. "It's okay, Daddy. I love you." Charles forced a smile, patting her hand. "I love you too, kiddo." As he stood to leave, I felt a surge of resentment. "She needs you, Charles. We need you." He paused, his back to us. "I'm doing what I can, Betty," but his words rang hollow in the sterile room. I watched him leave, a familiar sense of abandonment settling over me. Anna's hand gripped mine, her small presence a reminder of the fight ahead of us. The room fell silent again, save for the beeping of the monitors. I leaned closer to Anna, whispering promises of better days. Promises I wasn't sure I could keep. But in that moment, all I had was hope and the unwavering love for my daughter. The silence was broken by a call from my friend Marilyn, a local realtor. I sat in the dimly lit hospital cafeteria, clutching a lukewarm cup of coffee, my mind a whirlwind of betrayal and shock. Marilyn slid into the seat across from me, her expression a mix of concern and urgency. "Charles is selling our house, our home," she said. Anger and disbelief swirled within me, fueling a determination I hadn't felt in months. Under the dim lights of the hospital cafeteria, Marilyn, my longtime friend and a dedicated realtor, revealed the shocking news that shook me to the core. "Betty, I can't believe he's going this far, selling your house while you're anchored here with Anna." I inhaled sharply, my hands quivering as I struggled to calm myself. "Marilyn, please try to delay the sale. I need some time to figure this out." Her expression hardened with determination. "I'll do everything I can, Betty, but you need to know he's insisting on closing the sale quickly." I leaned in, my voice steady with newfound resolve. "He won't succeed without a fight. He thinks he can just erase our lives, start anew with her." Marilyn squeezed my hand in solidarity. "What's your plan, Betty?" The word plan echoed in my head, igniting a fire within me. For too long, I'd been passive, a spectator in my own life, overshadowed by Charles's growing indifference. No more. "I'm taking a stand," I declared. First thing tomorrow, I'm meeting with a lawyer. We'll find a way to halt the sale. Encouragement lit up Marilyn's face. That's the spirit. Fight for what's yours, Betty. I'm with you every step. I nodded, my spirit bolstered by her support. I'll also need solid evidence, proof of his duplicity, any fraudulent dealings, anything that will strengthen our case. We'll start with scrutinizing the sale details, Marilyn proposed. I'll gather all the information I can on the buyer and any irregularities in the deal. I took a bitter sip of my coffee, its harshness mirroring the turmoil inside me. After all we've been through, I can't believe he's capable of this, to Anna, to me. Marilyn's hand tightened around mine, her voice filled with resolve. He's a coward for underestimating your strength, Betty, and he'll soon realize his mistake. Rising from our seats, my determination solidified. He'll regret this, Marilyn. He'll regret harming Anna and trying to steal our home. I'll see to that. Marilyn stood by me, fierce and unwavering. Let's turn the tables on him, Betty. Let's show him he messed with the wrong woman. Concealed just outside the realtor's office, my heart raced as I eavesdropped on the meeting inside. Charles was there, smooth-talking the potential buyers with his usual charisma. His mistress's laughter echoed, carefree and unaware of the storm she was part of. I observed as Charles confidently presented the paperwork. This house is a gem, an absolute steal at this price, he boasted. The interested couple, eager yet cautious, nodded as they perused the documents. Everything appears to be in order, the wife commented. Charles's mistress, decked in vibrant red lipstick, chuckled, leaning in close. See, easy as pie, she murmured audibly. My anger flared, but I remained focused on the task at hand. This was about gathering damning evidence. The husband glanced up inquiringly. And the owner is on board with all this. Charles' reply came swiftly, a lie so effortless it seemed almost truthful. Absolutely. She's ready to move on, eager to sell quickly. My fists clenched at his blatant falsehood, my nails digging into my palms as I resisted the urge to storm in. Marilyn, ever the ally in my scheme, smoothly interjected. If you're ready, we can finalize this sale right now. The couple exchanged a glance and nodded. We can't pass this up. I watched in silent agony as they signed the documents, each stroke a strike against the life we had built. I remained stoic, aware that this was a moment for clear-headed action, not unchecked emotions. Charles's laughter echoed in the background, mingling with the clinking of glasses as he toasted to new beginnings with the buyers, his arm around his mistress. My entrance into the room was sudden, causing a ripple of shock and confusion among the guests. Enjoying yourself, Charles? My voice was calm, my presence bringing the celebration to an abrupt pause. His smile faltered. Betty, what are you doing here? His question hung in the air as I approached them with determined steps. I'm here to stop you from making a monumental mistake, I stated firmly. His mistress rolled her eyes dismissively. What are you talking about? The deal is done. I returned a smile, cold and devoid of any friendliness. Is it now? Because I don't recall agreeing to sell my house. The buyers exchanged uneasy glances. We were told everything was in order. The husband spoke, his voice laced with doubt. Charles attempted to regain control of the situation, stepping forward. Betty, you're confused. This is for the best. I shook my head, resolute. No, Charles, the only confusion here is yours if you think you can forge my signature and get away with it. Silence enveloped the room. Charles's complexion turned notably paler. You can't prove anything, he blurted defensively. From my bag, I produced a set of documents. Actually, I can, and I have. These are the real papers. What you have are forgeries. His mistress tugged at his arm, panic edging her voice. "Charles, what's she talking about? Tell me this isn't true." But Charles was speechless, his usual suave demeanor shattered. At that moment, the door swung open, and 3 police officers entered. One of them addressed Charles directly. "Charles Johnson, you're under arrest for fraud and forgery." The color drained from his face as he looked at me, disbelief etching his features. "You called the cops." "Yes, I did," I replied, my voice steady and unwavering. "You broke the law, Charles, and you tried to steal my home." As the officers handcuffed him, his mistress began to sob, her makeup running. The buyers, sensing the gravity of the situation, quickly gathered their belongings, eager to remove themselves from the unfolding drama. One officer turned to me. "We need your statement, ma'am." I nodded, feeling a surge of vindication. "Of course, officer." As they led Charles away, he threw a glance back at me, a mix of anger and regret in his eyes. But I felt no sympathy for him. He had made his choice, and now he was facing the consequences. Marilyn, witnessing the scene, smiled at me approvingly. I returned the smile and exited the office, feeling a significant burden lift from my shoulders. I had stood up for myself and for Anna. This was just the beginning. After Charles's arrest, I found myself in the lawyer's office, surrounded by law books and the heavy scent of leather. Mr. Ronald, my attorney, was a no-nonsense man in his 50s. His face marked with lines of experience. He reviewed the file before him. "Betty, your husband's actions have opened up a significant can of worms. The fraud charge is serious." I sat across from him, my hands clasped tightly. "I know, Mr. Ronald, but I couldn't let him get away with it. Not after everything." He nodded, understanding in his gaze. "I respect that. Now about the divorce and custody battle. You're in a strong position, but it won't be easy." I leaned forward, resolute. "I'm ready for it. I have to do this for Anna. She deserves a stable home." He shuffled some papers. "What about alimony and child support?" Given Charles' likely incarceration, it's going to be complicated. I sighed, a mix of determination and sadness coloring my voice. The road ahead was daunting, but I was prepared to navigate it for the sake of my daughter. Anna is my top concern, and I only want what's best for her. As for Charles, he made his own decisions. Mr. Ronald gave me a firm look, his face etched with seriousness. "Betty, you're a resilient woman. We'll ensure you and your daughter get the justice you deserve." Leaving his office, my phone rang. It was Charles. I hesitated but answered. "What do you want, Charles?" His voice, filled with urgency, reached me. "Betty, I know I've made mistakes, but please don't keep Anna away from me." I stopped walking, anger building inside. "Were you thinking of Anna when you tried to sell our house? When you were spending your days with someone else?" He was silent. "I lost my way, Betty, but I'm still her dad. I love her." Holding my phone tighter, I replied, "Love is more than just words, Charles. It's shown through actions. You've let us both down." His voice broke. "I'll do anything to fix this. Please." I shook my head, even though he couldn't see. "It's too late for that. You can see Anna, but only with supervised visits. That's final." He paused, then quietly accepted. The following days were a whirlwind. I spent most of my time making sure Anna felt loved and stable amid the turmoil. Her laughter soothed my broken heart. One afternoon, while Anna napped, Julie, my sister, called. "Hey, Betty, how are you coping?" Her voice always carried a blend of concern and strength. "I'm managing, Julie. It's tough, but I'm hanging in there." Julie was quiet for a moment. "I heard about Charles. I'm sorry, Betty, but I'm proud of you for standing your ground." I smiled weakly. Thanks, Julie. It's hard, but Anna needs me now more than ever. Her tone softened. And who's there for you, Betty? Her question took me by surprise. Caught up in caring for Anna and the legal battle, I hadn't really considered my own needs. I don't know, Julie. I haven't had the chance to think about myself. Julie's reply was firm. You need to look after yourself, too. You can't pour from an empty cup. She was right. I'll try, Julie. It's just all so overwhelming. You're not alone. Remember that. I'm here for you, always. The next day, I visited a therapist, Dr. Scott. His office was a welcoming space with gentle lighting and a comfy couch. He greeted me with a warm smile. Betty, it's good to meet you. How can I help you today? I took a deep breath and shared my worries and fears. I just feel so lost, Dr. Scott. Everything I trusted has turned upside down. Dr. Scott nodded, his voice soft and understanding. It's natural to feel this way after what you've experienced. It's essential to recognize that challenging times are just one chapter in the extensive narrative of your life, not the entirety of it. This notion struck a chord with me and sparked a period of gradual but meaningful changes as I began to rebuild my life. I found solidarity in a support group for single parents. Despite the initial nervousness of my first meeting, the sense of community was palpable as others shared their experiences. It was a relief to know I wasn't alone. The group leader welcomed me warmly, encouraging us to support and uplift each other. I shared my own experiences with the group. As I spoke, my voice was steady yet charged with emotion. The group members offered me looks of empathy and understanding. Afterward, Abigail, one of the group members, came over to speak with me. Your story is inspiring, Betty. You're stronger than you realize, she said. Her words buoyed my spirits, and I began to believe that maybe, just maybe, I could transform this challenging chapter into a tale of resilience and hope. I sat in the quiet of an early morning at home, thinking back on the turbulent path that had led me to this peaceful moment. The divorce was legally concluded. Perched on my coffee table, the documents signified a fresh phase of self-reliance. The court case had been exhausting. For our daughter Anna's steady future, I had battled my ex-husband Charles for a just portion of his assets. Charles was found guilty of fraud and had to deal with the repercussions of the court's decision in our favor. His accomplice, who had been duped by them, also received a harsh legal punishment. It was strange to watch Charles and his accomplice pointing fingers at one another. There was just blame, not regret. There was a bright spot. Nevertheless, in spite of the confusion caused by the court cases and mental anguish. After her operation, Anna was back to her vivacious laughing, which filled our house with a warmth that had been missing for far too long. I thought about our future as I sipped my morning coffee, a future I had battled so hard for, and that now appeared bright and promising. My first focus and ray of hope was Anna. We had weathered a storm even more powerful than the last. I glanced at the pictures on the mantel. They showed us at the park, at the zoo, grinning broadly. These were more than simply pictures. They were representations of our resiliency and ability to have joy in the face of hardship. Anna suddenly raced into the room, her eyes gleaming with joy and her hair ruffled. She said excitedly, "Mommy, are we going to the park today?" I nodded, love brimming in my heart. "Yes, sweetheart, we're going to have a great day." She clapped her hands in joy, and her laughter echoed across the room. I came to the realization that these happy and recuperative moments were what really important when I watched her play. We had moved past the hardships, the suffering, and the treachery. A fresh trip, laughter and healing awaited on the road ahead.